this is probably one of the best avenues I've found in being able to ditch that 9 to 5 and find something that's sustainable for my family. I remember one time when I got my first 14-point trade, it was like magic. This is why he teaches what he teaches. I actually had 2 trades earlier on in the week as well that were 9 and 8 points. I've had 3 8+ point trades this week that were just awesome. I have no regrets joining this at all. It's been nothing but a lot of fun.
What would you say to students thinking about joining our community right now on the fence, Brady? Mr. Brady, how are you?
Doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for being here. You have no idea how grateful I am.
I'm excited.
Yeah, so throughout this journey, as you can see, Brady, I've talked to so many different students along the way, and just knowing your story and hearing about your story, I want to know more and I want to dig deep into it. And of course, you can imagine this stories is going to help resonate with other fellow students, whatever they had with their journey so bad. So again, I appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
So go back to the very beginning, Brady. How long have you been with the program now?
4 months now, I think.
4 months. What's kind of been the favorite part of the Daily Edge?
I think just being able to obviously get all the details of how to trade. So obviously I don't have any trading experience before I started this course, completely new, brand new to trading altogether. And so being able to see kind of the tricks of the trade and just how you go about it each day has been awesome. And then like seeing you back that up live has been like incredibly invaluable, right? And so I think above all though, like the things that I really have enjoyed a lot has been the mindset conversations, which has been a big deal for me personally. And like even just today trading, I realized, man, my mindset's getting in the way. And I'm able to see that a lot quicker and understand just how much impact it has in trading. And it's just exciting, right? It's exciting to see how you can apply those immediately and see some cool stuff happen. So yeah, I think that those are some of my favorite things.
Why trading in the first place, Brady?
Well, I work a 9 to 5. I enjoy it. It's fun, but I want more time with my family. I want to be able to find something that I can do that doesn't take up every working hour of my life. And so I started the journey, and I say journey into trading because I don't expect this to be a get rich quick type thing. I see it as a skill that I want to develop and learn. And so far, the journey's been great. It's been hard. It's been up and down, and I still, see myself, taking this journey for a long time to try and perfect that skill. But, this is this is probably one of the best avenues I've found in being able to kind of ditch that 9 to 5 and find something that's sustainable for my family in the long term, where I don't have to, put so many hours into making money each day. So
have you sort of trying any other avenue before in addition to trading?
I have. So early on, me and my brother-in-law got into trying to create a business. We did a couple different business ideas, and those kind of flopped. And so, I actually used to do video trainings, used to be able to create online video training platforms and things like that. We tried to jump into that, and that was like years ago. And it just didn't work out. I just spent years doing that and was hoping eventually that we'd be able to get to the point where we could have that be more self-sustaining. But it never worked out. So I went back to college, got a degree in computer science. I do actually programming, actually do managing projects right now. But eventually, like I hope soon in the next year or so, I can develop this trading skill to the point where I can start reducing my reliance on that type of job. So
awesome. When you look at the program as a whole, right, 4 months into it, your biggest win, what is it?
I would have to say, so, I mean, are you talking about my biggest trade win or just win in general? Like what has been like the biggest thing I've taken away from it?
Well, I think you've talked a little bit about, the educations, the psychological aspect of it. In all of that, have your biggest win been psychological, money, both, just
Yeah.
knowledge, experience, educations. I mean, there's so many variety of different categories here, but when you sign up and until now, then you say, this is the biggest takeaway that I've got. What is it?
So I think mindset is the biggest takeaway, and here's why. So and I've been warned by family members, I've been warned by other people. I mean, just in general, people say trading is hard. It's very risky. Most people lose. 90% of traders, lose money and whatever. Like, there's so many narratives out there about trading, but yet there's still people out there who are making just immense amounts of money trading. And so, like, when I first started into this and going through your process, I was just failing over and over and over again, and which was fine, right? Because you can do sim, and it's great that you can do that. It's one of the few things you can actually do, you know, simulated with zero risk financially, in practice, which is great. But man, it was amazing to see how quickly you get beat down when you just have a series of losses, right? Even when you're trying to apply everything, but yet you've always been there to be like, hey, the next trade is the trade to do it, right? There's always a next trade. There's always a next trade. Market's always going to be there, and learning, to overcome that FOMO attitude, learning to overcome, just the feeling of not being able to do it, and then all of a sudden, that next trade comes along, and you have that. I remember one time when I got my first 14-point trade, and it's just like it was like magic, right? And like the feeling I got was like, hey, this is hard, this is difficult skill to develop, but it's possible. And I started seeing that silver lining, right? Of like, it's possible. And it's so true. That next trade comes along and you make that trade and you execute it according to plan. And it's like, this is why he teaches what he teaches, right? This is why he ingrains this in our mind. And I think the biggest thing that I really enjoyed is, whether it's on the live stream or in the QA, you are always, always saying, you got this. Just keep at it. Don't give up. Keep doing it. It's going to click. It's going to come. Get that habitual, that process in place, and it's going to pay off. And I'm starting to see that. Like, I'm not crazy in my trades or anything. I'm still learning. I'm still trying to figure things out. But I'm feeling that I can see why I need to stick with it, because it is becoming profitable. It is becoming something that I can see, a skill that's building, that's going to become something that I can eventually rely on in the future. And so that mindset is huge, because otherwise, I think a lot of people, without that constant, like, hey, you can get this done, and here's how, and just keep going on that next trade, look for that next trade. Without that, I think I would have given up for sure. I would have been like, nah, it's too difficult. I think I would have just been done.
Has that psychological win gives you this belief that it's just going to be a matter of time when you become, just crushing this in the long term?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I actually remember, just like a week ago, you texted me. I was like, I'm just struggling right now. Every trade is losing. I'm just losing, losing, losing. But then you're just like, you got it. Don't worry about it. You just said, keep going. And so I just kept going. I just kept going, kept making it happen. And I decided that even though, I put in these things in my trading journal, it's like, I lost today again, but I'm recording what's going on in my mind. Hey, I lost, but I was according to plan, right? I executed exactly the way I was supposed to. And realizing that when you lose, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're bad at trading, right? It's that did I trade, did I have a plan, did I trade according to plan? And then trusting in that process, day by day. And eventually, like, this week has been pretty cool, because I've just been trusting in that process, and I've been able to see, like, hey, had some losses, but had some really cool wins. And it's been great to see that kind of come out again, kind of give you a little bit more confidence, but also the same thing in the back of my mind that going on is, don't get too overconfident, because the market will show you real fast what happens when you're too overconfident. So it's great. I mean, I think the mindset aspect is just way more impactful than I ever expected it to be in this game, and it's been great. I'm just hoping to continue to grow in that, and be mindful of my mindset constantly, especially as I start having more and more successful trades. I want to make sure that I'm always there, because I've noticed when I get those big trades, the next day I come in and I just get some really hard losses because I get that overconfidence. But again, that goes back to all the things that you are teaching in this course, which is just it's amazing. You listen to it and you're like, yeah, I got this. Vu's saying all these cool things about mindset. Yeah, I'm good with the mindset, and then you realize you're not. And so it's just over and over again reinforcing why that mindset shift is really, really important.
Let's talk about the win yesterday. You got a 10-point trade, if I'm not mistaken.
It was 9. Yep, 9.
It's not okay. So short in the market. You mentioned um, you did some bad trades last week. Let's just focus on that big win yesterday. Okay. Now, how did it all happen? And how does it feel before, during, and after that trade? Walk me through that biggest win of this week. And I think you post that, and I was like so happy for you. Can you walk through what was going on? What was your mindset? What was the technicals and all that during that
Yeah,
moment?
absolutely. Yeah, interestingly enough, though, I actually had a similar, actually, two trades earlier on in the week as well that were 9 and 8 points as well. So, I've had three eight plus point trades this week that were just awesome. And so some of the mindset is it was interesting yesterday because I came in, I knew we had some things going on with the family in the morning. And so I did not get into the markets in the morning. So I missed out on jumping in at the opening bell, having that plan set up. I didn't even look at the charts until about 12:30, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And this time central time, I think it closed at 3. Markets closed
Yeah.
at 3. And so I jumped in and I just did a plan. I sat down and I did what you had said. I made a plan. I made some tweaks after I looked at some of the suggestions you made for the day as well. And then I just waited patiently to trade according to that plan. And I saw that break, on the downside, and waited for the pullback. Actually missed the first opportunity to go in, but I was like, it's okay. I'll get in next time. This is
I
a
saw that.
potentially a big move.
I saw that you actually skipped the first one, and then I saw when the trade happened, that was the perfect setup. Skip the first one, get into the second, and then of course that whole thing come crashing down. That level of patience right there is not easily like to be gained right there, Brady. I mean, walk me through that emotions.
Well, yeah, I mean, initially the feeling is I missed the move. I just missed out. But again, you've been pounding in our mind. The FOMO is a big deal, right? And that's one of the things I struggle with the most, and that I have to continually work with is I'm missing the move. I'm missing the move. I'm missing the move, and I don't. And that's like the thing I have to kind of swat out of my brain. There's always another opportunity, right? And so when I missed that first move, I just decided to be patient, hoping that there'd be another opportunity to get in. And it was, I didn't have to wait long. There was immediately after that, there was another way to get in to, put in the stop loss, put in a good position. And it ended up profiting. Everything kind of matched up. Looking at a lot of the confluence that we're looking at that you teach as well was awesome to see that kind of all line up. And even though I could have easily stayed in that trade and probably made double, maybe even more than double what I did. My biggest focus right now, according to mindset, is I'm securing my win. Where I had my target, and so I got out of the trade after 9 points, and I was like, I'm good. I'm not going to jump back in. So
So big. I realized you got a big week, and of course a big gain, a big win yesterday as well. Let me just walk through, just so in case if people don't know what this is. An 8, a 9, or going back to 8, 9 points win. Every point is a $50 gain. So let's go back to, let's say, your goal. If you can consistently do this, and it looks like you've done this 3 days this week, and it's only the beginning here. What would this 8, 9, 10 points win, which is an equivalent to 450, $500 equivalent, in a matter of, let's say, working for 60 to 90 minutes a day? What would that do to you in your future, Brady? Could you see yourself having a financial future set if you can consistently perform at this rate going to the new future? What would that do to your future?
huh?
What would that change, or what would that do to your future looking forward?
Well, I mean, that's the big thing I'm looking for, right? Is consistency. Each day, each week. I mean, obviously, day to day it's hard, but like each week to be able to consistently bring in some wins like that. I mean, that's what I'm looking for, to be able to say, hey, okay, I'm done with the 9 to 5. I can now rely on this, right? And so finding that transition point is really, really important to me, and identifying that this is something I can actually do on a day to day basis, and not worry about holding a normal job. And so that's really my goal. And so if I can secure wins like that consistently week by week, then I am very close to that goal, right? And so
Are you looking to secure an additional, or maybe looking at trading as some sort of passive income in addition to that? Or if you can consistently nail this in the future, it's going to become your full-time gig? I mean, what is
absolutely,
it?
yeah, full time.
Full-time?
Yep, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that's my goal, right? I want to drop the 9 to 5 as soon as possible. But again, the thing, the way that I'm approaching this is developing a skill, right? This isn't a I got in the boost program. I'm gonna figure this out in 6 months and I'm good to go, right? No, this is a I'm gonna dedicate time to develop this skill until I can consistently show that this is something I can support my family on. And so that's kind of how I'm approaching this. And so far it's been great. Like it's been difficult, but it's been a difficulty that I expected to see if I'm going to be putting this type of effort into it and this type of importance on, right? And so
Yeah.
so far it's been great. I'm still trying to get to the point where I can be super consistent, but right now I feel like I have a road laid out before me that I can follow and really have the time and the support necessary to develop that. And so it's been great. I mean, I have no regrets joining this at all. It's been nothing but a lot of fun to be able to get into this and really. I mean, again, I have no trading experience previous to this. I didn't. I remember when I saw your little video about this program. I went and Googled, how does the stock market work? Right? I mean, I had very little understanding. I just knew that people made money in the stock market. I kind of had basic understandings of it, and I knew some people that kind of dabbled in it, and I knew that I had a 401k, and that had something to do with the stock markets, right? And so, really, I'm coming from nothing to all of a sudden now I'm like confident to jump into the market and be able to execute trades, even though sometimes they're losing trades, right? Like I feel confident to be able to be in there and to see things and to read, how the market is and try to make trades according to what I'm seeing right there, right? And that's awesome.
No knowledge going into this, to learn how to do this, to are you more consistent, would you say, 4 months into this compared to 1 month or 2 months into this right now?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Yep, yep. I mean,
Do you
still
have
learning, still doing some, still finding myself doing some things. I'm like, I just clicked on that one. I shouldn't have clicked, right? I should have waited more patiently, or that was a definitely mindset failure right there. I wasn't watching my mindset when I went into that trade, and so there's definitely a lot of learning that I'm still going through. But again, like I'm in this for the long journey of developing this skill, like you have. And to tell you the truth, another one really valuable thing is it's one thing to hear somebody say, "Hey, I can teach you how to do this. I can teach you how to do this. Let me teach you this skill." But then when I jump in there and I see you doing it day by day, and I'm learning from your mindset, and I love it when you call out your own mindset, like, my mindset's not good today, so I'm not going to trade, or I'm going to trade very much more cautiously today. Like I'm seeing it in action. You're not just saying things; you're actually walking the talk, right? You're actually doing what you're saying, and you're demonstrating it live. And that to me is backing up and puts a whole lot of validity to what you're saying and what you're doing. And so like I have confidence in knowing like sometimes I'll get on the day and I'll be like, I'm going to make this trade. I don't know why Boo's not making this trade. I'm making this trade. And then I realize, oh, I should listen to Boo. Now, and obviously I need to make my own decisions and trade according to my plan. But I'm learning so much from how you're approaching things and why you approach things the way that you do. It's just like golden nuggets all the time being thrown at me. And so I really, really like that aspect of the program. It's been great.
That's awesome. What going to the next steps here, what are you looking to improve on next, Brady? Let's say your goal is to improve this starting today or next week. What would that be?
So I think my patience is a big one. So the FOMO aspect of it is still a huge mindset thing that I'm working on. Especially when I'm in on some of the live trades and I'm seeing you or others talk about the trades that they're looking at making. Sometimes I jump in too early. I don't wait for confluence. I always in the back of my mind is like, hey, I'm going to miss out on this trade. That little voice right there saying I'm going to miss out on this trade. That is a huge uh, uh, reason why I have a lot of the losing trades that I do, right?
Yeah.
And so that's one thing that I'm really, really trying to work on is like calling that out early on before, in the moment, like, oh, hold on, take a breath, you're not going to miss out on anything. So that's one big thing. The other big thing is I've noticed that sometimes I'll make a plan and then, to trade above a range or trade below a range. And sometimes I get myself like really wanting to trade in between and not following my plan. And so those are other things that I'm really, it's not too often, but I still do it sometimes. And those are things that I really want to get myself out of doing so I can trust myself more. Like, hey, stick to your plan. If the market doesn't move where you want it to, don't trade. Like, don't trade. Don't make the trade. You don't need to make a trade. And I think that's the other thing is you don't need to make a crazy trade each day. Stick to your plan. Make it happen that way. Let the market come to you and what you're planning on doing rather than trying to make these weird trades in between, right? And so I think those are the two major things that I'm working on.
This is, yeah, I got out of the live stream today and I got tons of DMs, right, Brady? Like, Vu, you're trading a downtrend dominant here and you're looking for a way to go up. And you keep looking for a way to go up. What's happening? It's the plan that is the most important piece of the concept. And I hope, the step-by-step process where you go into the market, Brady, every single morning you open up the charts and you go, what would Vu do? Is he going to click the buttons out of nowhere? Is he going to develop a plan? Is he going to trade according to his setup? He's going to looking for his risk management. So I hope this process is sticking in your mind, and that is your approach going into every day. And I'm pretty sure if you just rinse and repeat this, you've been doing phenomenal. The results that you've been pouring in the last days or a few weeks or so, absolutely different than anything that you've shown me or talked to me about maybe the first month. Or remember that struggle during the first 30 days or 60 days when you said, everything I pull in here is a loss. Everything I'm struggling here, Vu. I'm not seeing anything. And then to the point now, 4 months into it, or to this week, when you're getting into this 8, 9, 10 point, you see there's a change in the process that you're going about this, right? So my hope here, Brady, is you stick to it. You know what is the successful approach is, and you just rinse it and you repeat it. Don't go back to the old Brady. Don't go back to lack of knowledge, lack of experience, lack of don't know whatever that's going on. But stick to the new Brady now that he knows the process. Does that make sense where I'm coming from? That's how
Absolutely.
success is going to find you long term.
Absolutely. Yep. That's what I'm here for. Develop that new skill, that new Brady.
Last thing, and I again appreciate your time so much on this. There's a lot of students or prospects. There's a lot of people looking out into the community that we're building here. You considering yourself watching that Facebook ad, right? And you go, should I make this decision? What would you say to students thinking about joining our community right now on the fence, Brady?
Oh, I'd say make it happen. Especially if it's something you've been thinking about doing for a while, or you want to take it to the next level for those who actually have trading experience. Like, there's so many people that I've heard from directly in this community. They're just like, this was it. This was what I needed to unlock my potential. And then for those who just don't even know, like, I'm the perfect example. I didn't know anything coming in, so it's not like you have to have trading experience to come in. Like, pull the trigger, make it happen. If it's something that that you want to do and you want to make happen in your life, like, this is the place to be. You got a great community. Vu's gonna back you up. He's gonna make you think about things, make you face your own mindset. And I think that's what a lot of people need right now is know that they can make it happen. Have the tools that they need to when they're dealing with that downside of, I made a bad trade or I'm making a series of bad trades. How do I pull myself back up? This is where you need to be. This is the community and the program that's going to help you get over that. I know that, for a newbie like me coming in, I had moments of discouragement, but then I had a great support to get me back up when I needed to. And that's just really what it's all about. And it's not just, the community. You've got the specific skill set as well. You've got specific things you can learn how to apply directly, different ways of trading, different techniques of going into those trades, have high confidence and also have that risk management in there as well, so you don't blow out your account, and so that you can make this something that's that you can do over a long period of time to actually make money instead of maybe have a cool trade here or there and then blow out your account later on. Vu's going to teach you how to avoid that and what you can do to really make that something that you can rely on. So make it happen. It's a place to be.
And on the secondary part of it, there's a lot of new students that just join, right? This is their first day. This is their first live stream this morning. This is their first week. What would you recommend they do once they do join, Brady?
Consume the content and don't get discouraged. Just plan into your process, into this whole program, that there's going to be some times where you feel like you don't know what you're doing at all. Just plan on it, and that's okay. Like that's part of the process. And obviously we've got a beautiful opportunity here where we can jump in the sim, we can trade without really having a financial impact on yourself, and just write down what's going on in your mind as you're going through it. Like, get it out and make sure you understand what is going on in your head, and then you can post it in the Q&A and Boo will go over it. and he'll help you out. I think that's one of the biggest things is stick with it. Make a decision now. Like, why do you want to be here? What is it you want to get out of it ultimately? Whether it's a year down the road, a couple months down the road, or 5 years down the road. Like, make that plan and stick to it, because you've got all the things you need here. You really, really do. And as long as you're willing to put in that effort and be willing to be beat down a couple times, but then let Vu know and let the community know when you are beat down, like, they'll pick you back up, because there's always another trade. The market's always there. There's always a new skill to develop and strengthen within this program. And that's what it's all about.
Thank you so much, Brady. You have no idea how meaningful this is. And at the end of the day, right, you've been there, you've done that. You got students new coming in, you got students on the fence. And I think these wonderful words of wisdoms is going to help so much in my fellow students that are just fresh, new into this community, and my, prospects that are looking into this and say, should I do it? So I appreciate your time. I thank you for everything you do, and I can't wait to see maybe 3 months from now what Brady is going to be able to bring on a consistent daily profit. So let's keep this communications. I'm always here to help you. So, my phone number, by the way, you always can text me. You can always reach out. I'm on Discord. I'm on the community. I'm on a Q&A call. So, yeah, I can't wait to see what's next for you. Look forward to our next conversations here, Brady.
Me too. Thanks a lot, Boo. Appreciate it.
Have a good one.
We'll see you later.